time to do some exposing. So, time to expose these boxing fans again. So, I'm looking at a stat today, and from what I'm seeing, Shakur Stevenson, who people says it's boring, doesn't get knockouts. You know, they already called Devin Haney a pillow fist, even though Floyd didn't have a lot of knockouts at the end of his career against guys who were smaller than him, besides like Canelo or whatever. But in this situation right here, Canelo Alvarez, he's only had 3 knockouts since 2020. Now, he's fought plenty of times. He's fighting twice a year, right? So he's had plenty of opportunity to get knockouts. And all those knockouts he had was in 1 year. He had 3 knockouts in 2021 against low competition. And besides Caleb Plant. And in this situation, and one of the guys he knocked out was sparring partner. But in this situation right here, Shakur Stevenson has the same amount of knockouts, TKOs, as Canelo Alvarez since 2021. Since 2020. He has 3. And Canelo has 3. And what people will tell you is, oh, Canelo's the face of boxing. He gets knockouts. Da, 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 da. Canelo don't get knockouts. Canelo ain't had a knockout since 2021. Yeah. Canelo ain't had a knockout since 2021. That's 3 years. He ain't had a knockout in his prime. Canelo ain't had a knockout in his prime in 3 years. In his prime. Which means right now he probably not in his prime no more. Yeah. I've been trying to tell y'all this. I don't know where people get their boxing knowledge from, what channels they go to, but they're not going to last 10 years talking about boxing. I'm telling y'all right now, these guys who's talking about boxing will not last the next 10 years talking about boxing. They are doing so much favoritism for one fighter to try to slight the rest of the whole generation. These guys will not last longer than 10 years talking about boxing. I'm telling y'all. A lot of guys like, man, I want to talk about boxing. A lot of these guys, I'm gonna give you a example of why I'm telling the truth. The guys who was talking about boxing 10 years ago, they still ain't around. If they are, people don't want to talk about them. Most of the boxing channels that's around right now, people don't want to listen to them because they have a history of lying or playing favoritism. That's why certain people cater to Mexicans or Eastern European, because they want a certain fan base to always be loyal to them, because they know, well, if I go to this channel, it's going to favor this kind of boxer for me because, you know, it has nothing to do with inside the ring. It's outside the ring stuff that most of these fans are focused on. Like Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez only has 1 knockout since the year 2020. Since the year 2020, Teofimo Lopez only has 1 knockout. And what people say is, Teofimo Lopez will knock out this guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. Canelo will knock out this guy, that guy, that guy. Bro, these fans are not talking about nothing that has anything to do with boxing. If they follow boxing, they will understand. Teofimo Lopez only had 1 knockout in the last 4 years, and it came in 2022, I think. That's it. He hasn't had a knockout like that in the last 4 years. Shakur Stevenson has 3. Teofimo Lopez had none. 1. Just 1. And people look it up here, man. I want to see Teofimo Lopez fight, man. I want to put him on pound for pound. Because he beat Lomachenko, and he lost to Kambosos, who everybody says is a bum. Who's a very good fighter, who I picked to beat Teofimo Lopez. But people that sit up here and say, Teofimo Lopez, he gets knockouts, man. He'll knock out Devin. He'll knock out this guy. He'll knock out Pitbull. He has 1 knockout in the last 4 years. Canelo has 3 knockouts in the last 4 years, since 2020. 3 knockouts. TKOs. How many does Shakur Stevenson has? 3. When you think of Shakur Stevenson, people say, man, he ain't got that many knockouts, man. His knockouts, he don't got that many. He got 22 fights, and guess what? You know half of the guys he fought at least. When it goes to Canelo's resume and Tiafimo, y'all don't know half of those guys they fought. Most of the guys they even went 12 rounds with. But like I was saying, man, since 2020. So for all these boxing experts out here who really want to put real news out, that's some news for you. Because I'm going to be pressing on this issue for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And this video is going to be a barometer. Because I'm going to put this out now because I know somebody's going to run with the stat and then everybody else going to start running with it. Because, you know, I do this. But they're going to try to take this stat. So let me go ahead and put this out right now. Because I will be talking about this a little bit more. But Shakur Stevenson had the same amount of knockouts as Canelo Alvarez. And everybody talking about how Canelo can knock out Benavidez. He'll knock out Crawford. Bro, he got the same amount of knockouts as Shakur Stevenson. Is he boring? Why Canelo ain't boring? Why he ain't boring? I don't see nobody trying to run back Triple G 3 fights. I've never seen nobody say, man, that Triple G 3 fight, man, maybe we need another one. Yeah, because they saying the pay-per-view sales is what matters in boxing. If you ain't selling pay-per-views, well, let Triple G and Canelo put another fight together. It sells pay-per-views, right? It's all about numbers in boxing. The knockout stuff is false. And I'm going to expose all that. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.